right. So, how is everybody on this Tuesday of Cinco de Mayo week? Sorry that we're starting a little late. I know for my son and his streaming, it's no big deal, but I gotta try to get on within a couple minutes of really the time. But this was complicated. There was a lot going on here. I know, it's a big setup. So typically, if you're joining us for our cocktail streams, it's a cocktail. And maybe I'm drinking wine if it's bourbon. Pretty simple. Although the Cosmos, I feel like we did it, you know, those different ways. Like that was a little more fancy. But
my sugar intake is still out of whack after that.
Oh, you liked it. You know you liked it. So today, we're going to do things in this order. As I've been sharing, we are doing 3 things today. I'm going to make my guacamole, which I feel like when I bring it to a party, people really enjoy. And I have a secret ingredient I use, which I didn't get out.
Oh, sure.
Yes, thank you. He's going to get out the secret ingredient. I forgot to get that out, the most important thing. And if you could bring over the salt and pepper too.
Is it on the spinning thing?
Yes, spinning thing. That is right. So I'm going to make that because after I make the guac, we're actually not going to partake in it yet.
What?
Because then what I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now in the household. I think it's on the lower shelf, by the way. And it's that to do this tequila taste test. Now, let me preface it. Thank you. Let me preface it by saying that we talked about this before. Tequila and I do not like. I really wasn't a love at first sight thing. Like people do shots, and I was always wary of that. In fact, you know, that did not bode well for me my senior year in college when I tried doing that. So like tequila, it always had this. It was like the bad boyfriend, like the bad boy, you know. It was, and you laugh at me, but that's how I looked at it. So I felt like vodka, I could trust more. Like I knew, like
vodka was the good boyfriend.
The vodka was the good boyfriend, solid. Didn't mess you up. So in any event, it wasn't really until later, as we've spoken, that I really came to appreciate tequila and some of the drinks that we've shared already, the orange margarita and the Italian margarita. But my friend Sandra is who got me sold on a traditional classic margarita because of the splurge of the tequilas we use. So that is to come. So I'm going to make guac. We're going to do a taste testing of 3 different tequilas, which we'll share in just a second. Then we have our guac and chips so that we can taste it after we've done our taste test. Because I got to tell you, I am not one that usually likes drinking liquor straight up unless it's limoncello or amaretto. I have kind of a sweet tooth, so I'm sure we'll be making lots of faces during this time. But we're going to sip it, try to decide which one we prefer. We'll put them in order, and then Matt prepared our shots or taste test sips, and I prepared Matt. So then after we've all put them in order, then we will reveal like what they all were.
Do you think you're going to be able to tell one from the other?
I think they're all going to taste like gasoline. That's my expectation.
I think like I'm just not going to be skilled enough to know the difference between what makes a tequila better and worse. Like I'm just going to be like, well, this is the one I enjoy the most, and like that could
be true.
But we'll see.
We shall see. But I will tell you that what gives me hope is my cousin Gary. I'll never forget, because I will share the tequilas that we're going to be tasting tonight are. We had to go with like one of the original ones when I felt like I had a little bit of money to buy, and that was Jose Cuervo, because it wasn't the really scary cheap tequila that most people bought in college.
El Toro.
Yeah, El Toro. So we went up a little bit, went to Jose Cuervo, and then one of our favorites that we've talked about that is not super expensive, but we feel is really delicious, in Altos. And then we're going to do Patron, which is really when I came to love margaritas because of my friend Sandra. So we'll see if we know the difference. But I will say I am curious because your uncle, my cousin Gary, I'll never forget, we had Patron. We were all getting together up at the lake house. And he saw we had Patron, and he said, and this is not typical him, he usually is a beer drinker. Like really, that's what Gary drinks, is beer. And he said, I'd like a shot of that. And so my first thought was he's going to like flip it. And he didn't. He wanted to just sip it. And I was astounded, so I have no idea. So we'll have to see. So first, the guacamole. So the guacamole is very simple, yes. And I will tell you that, I feel like guacamole is like anything that we cook. This is how I make it, but obviously you use what you really like, because not everyone likes cilantro. And actually I've noticed some people use lemon in guacamole, which kind of goes against what I like.
Instead of lime?
Instead of lime. Not that it would be bad, it's an acid.
I guess it's, yeah.
But, I favor lime. Depending upon what heat you want, or if you don't want any heat, you could leave the jalapenos out. So it's avocado, lime, jalapenos, salt, pepper. I have my jalapenos finely chopped. I like to put a little onion in. Some people like to put garlic. I love garlic, but actually guac is something that I don't typically put garlic in. And I chop it really fine.
Okay, chop.
And so, but really you can put what you like in it. Now, there's a lot of people that like to have the tomatoes in their guac too, and I'm not opposed to it, but I actually really prefer my guac to be simpler.
So where did you get this recipe? Do you remember?
Well, I think it was through trial and error. I did, because I think I tried a bunch of different recipes, but really what I was trying to mimic was what we had at Altos in Philadelphia, which is a great Mexican restaurant. And and I've talked about this on the streams. It was the first time I ever liked guac, because when it was the grocery store, dark green stuff, I did not think that was good at all.
That's all mushy. This is kind of like,
and it's discolored,
you make yours more chunky.
More chunky and very fresh. So at Altos, they make it usually, I don't know if they still do, but they used to make it table side. And to be honest, I don't remember because it was so long ago that we did that I'm not sure if they actually put tomatoes in theirs, but I don't recall feeling like there were. So maybe there are, and people might say, oh yeah, there's tomatoes in there. But I find I just really like the purity of not having the tomatoes. Although I would never turn down a good guac that had tomatoes in it. But for me, I kind of like keep it simple. And then my secret ingredient, which I found because of trying different recipes, was cumin. And it might have been bobby flay. I'm not sure. I don't remember, which is so typical for me, not remembering. But a little bit, and don't go too much. Just a little pinch of cumin for me, just makes all the difference and makes it stand out. So that is my secret recipe, secret ingredient, because I feel like it really takes an ordinary guac and kind of elevates it a little bit. And you don't want it to be like that people go, oh my God, there's a lot of cumin in here. You want it to just be like a hint of something where people can't quite put their finger on it. And of course, salt and pepper to taste.
What's your suggestion on the chips?
So I know. So we talk about chips. If we're at a Mexican restaurant, I really love a really thin, crispy chip. But for guac, you do need a thicker chip, because otherwise it just breaks.
Yeah, I'll show them these.
So we got these at our nearby market that's new in the city, and they are nice, thick, hearty chips, and they taste like homemade. So that's what we'll be using. So to start, and I think we've talked about this before when I was doing, by the way, if you look below in the description, there's a link to the video I did with my niece Bethany, where she made elote, which is the Mexican street corn, and she made vegetarian black bean tacos, and had this great slaw and a crema and all that. That is the links down below. If you're looking for something for Cinco de Mayo, check that out. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Everything was good, but that street corn was really amazing. Good. We made homemade tortillas to boot, which were quite easy. So the first thing we talked about, and she was even asking, is getting our avocado set. So I'm a Food Network junkie. So when I would watch, they would just say, run your knife around it, then you just twist it off. Oh, it looks beautiful, don't you? That's golden when you just have a gorgeous. And then you take your knife and you go in the middle, and then I go to the trash can and I flick it off. So, and then you just take a spoon and you scoop it out. Now, I think Bethany was showing a way that you put it against a glass. So honestly, however you can get it out, get it out. So you could, if you wanted to, you could start actually, making a grid inside to, but we're going to smush it. One of my favorite tools, and Maddie knows about this, is this little mini, it looks like a potato masher. And I think it actually is called an avocado masher, and I think it's perfect. So I'm going to make this with 2 avocados.
How do you know when an avocado is right? When to buy an avocado.
Yeah. So what you don't want is you don't want a mushy avocado because that is usually overripe. But what you do want is one that gives slightly or gives a little. See, this is where it gets hard. It gives enough right here where the stem is, and also it should be light green there. If you look at the stem, if you take off, if their stem is attached, take it off. It should be light green. It should give. It should yield slightly, but not be mushy. And then it's just perfectly soft and it'll look beautiful like this. So, and I'm going to make mine with 2. And like, you know, I put ranges of ingredients down below in the description because I feel like with guacamole especially, everything's to taste, right? So anyway, so I'm going to get that pit out and get this in, and then we're going to mash her up. They're both beautiful. There you go. Oh, what am I doing? Put it here. I put the trash can here so it'll be easy. Okay, and so I'll put that there. Just gonna get this mashed in the potato masher. Now, usually I would use a bigger bowl, but I'm trying to have the bowl be also what we're gonna serve it in, which is not what I would do with company, but. So I don't wanna over mash this. Okay, so I'm just giving it a little mash, and then I'm going to be adding my, onions. I'm not going to add quite all those. I'm going to add half. So I probably added more like 3/4 tablespoon. I'm going to get like a tablespoon there. I like some heat. So I did like a half to a 3/4 tablespoon of finely minced onion, about a tablespoon of jalapeno, and then I'm going to give some nice squeezes of lime. These are wedges I already had. And this is a small lime, so I'm thinking this will probably be like half a normal lime. And again, to taste. Some people don't like it as limey. It's really up to you. So would you get me a paper towel, please? Thank you. And then I'm going to get we need to make sure we have salt. So it looks like I'm putting a lot because the salt isn't really coming out well because I'm low. I need to refill my little salt cellar. I always like a little pepper. And then for me, now not everyone likes cilantro. I love cilantro. It does not taste like soap to me. And then by the way, for my cumin, because I don't want to over put it in, I'm just going to put some on here. And I just want a pinch. Like it's literally a pinch. It's not a lot. If you feel like you don't taste it all, then put a little more pinch in. Like it's easy as that. So I'm going to trim some of these and then cut them in. And of course, I don't know if everyone knows, but cilantro, you can add the stems. The stems actually have great flavor, and they're tender, so it's not like it's going to be chewy. And I oftentimes like cutting my herbs just because sometimes when you try and cut them on the board, sometimes they get a little bit like bruised, and I feel like they just are a little fresher.
Can I just have a little piece of cilantro?
Sure, actually, I'm not going to use that.
If I have that gene.
If you have that gene. So now I'm just going to toss it.
For you. Interesting.
It tastes soapy for you?
It's a genetic thing.
Right, but you have cilantro. You eat cilantro.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not a fan?
No. I like cilantro, but.
Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Well, for the people that have the gene, I think it tastes like soap.
I don't think it's soapy for me.
Soapy?
Not for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I need to taste this because I want to make sure that I have the seasoning right. So let me just get a little spoon. Let me see. Oh my God. Oh, it's so good. You know what? I realize here, you can have a spoon. I have not made this in a while. Man, that is good. Very good. Someday, Matt, you will like guac.
I am not a fan of guac, so I will not be participating in the consumption of that, but I will gladly.
So we'll put these away for later, and Matt will be having some chips.
Okay.
So no, it's
I didn't realize that was good. Well, I'm gonna have chips now.
Just putting it over here for now. All right, so now for one of the main attractions,
Tequila.
and that is, would you mind putting that behind? So
Yep.
we'll leave this here because we're going to need this in a minute. I'll put these back. So now we're getting to the tasting. All right, So what do you think of cilantro, Matt? You've had cilantro.
It doesn't taste like cup to me.
Yeah. Because cilantro is in, besides Latin dishes, it's also in lots of Asian dishes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the stuff
It
that
is?
you've been making. Oh, absolutely. Okay. So these are Matt's. And then, Matt, do you want to give us ours?
Yep. So
I mean, who wants to be 1 and who wants to be 2?
Well, I should be number 1.
okay. As you always are.
Sorry. I just thought that was funny.
You can have them in whatever order you want.
Okay.
And for you.
All right. Oh, and so
Cleanse my palate.
just to remind everybody.
With beer, yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
to
I'll grab
remind
a
everybody.
water or something.
By the way, these are the suspects today. All right. Oh, I'm really worried about this. And Andy, if you want to put that stuff in the sink, that would be lovely. I have water somewhere. Oh, I have my water here. Let me grab my water.
It's right there.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna smell them first.
Oh, that's a good idea. I guess that it's like.
Oh, so you think you might be able to get something out of the smell?
I don't know. Okay, that smells like tequila. That smells like tequila, but different.
Wow, they all smell so different.
They all smell so different. That's shocking.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that unbelievable? Okay. And because of that, I'm coming up with some presumptions already.
Huh. Yeah, they do. It's very. I was not expecting that to be
No.
so noticeable. Like, so I feel like this
That's
one for
really
me
noticeable.
has like the mildest like scent, whereas these two are a bit stronger. Okay.
Okay, I'm really confused.
But they still smell a bit different. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So actually, so for me, this one smells the most like a tequila smell, and then this one smells like gasoline, and then this one smells the mildest.
Yeah, so that's
Like
this
I'm
one
almost
for me.
I'm almost thinking, oh, this is going to be like water. Okay. So how do we want to do this?
Well, we can just take whichever one.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
we'll
because
take-
we don't know which is which.
So is there one that smells most like the traditional tequila?
No,
for
we're
you?
not.
Oh, okay. I'm so
Actually,
sorry.
you know what? We should specifically do color. Because then
Okay.
there's no way we're like using each other to guess.
Okay.
You know?
So just so you know, each of
I'm gonna go
these
red.
have
Okay, so let's
red,
do red. Let's
green,
just
and
do
yellow on
red.
them.
Let's do red, yellow, green.
Red, yellow, green. Okay. All right.
All right. I'll do red first.
Do red first. I'm really worried about this.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then once we go through all, we can
So do you
then.
want to say anything about what yours tasted
Nope.
like? Why?
Well, I think let's go through
Okay,
all
okay,
them,
okay.
and then we can say our thoughts,
All
and
right.
then we can kind of
All
go
right.
back, mix and match, so we can
I'm gonna
get a
get a
better. Maybe.
A little water. Okay. All right. I feel like my tongue is clean now, though.
All right.
Yellow.
Oh, that's so different.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh man.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. This is very interesting.
Oh, this is gonna be hard.
All right. So then,
So we're still saying nothing.
yep.
Okay.
And I'll do our last one.
Okay.
Okay. Huh.
Oh, I don't know. I was really expecting one of them to taste terrible. I'm
Yeah,
being
none
honest.
of them taste that
None of them
bad.
taste terrible.
So
They all taste really different.
for me, my red was the most, or I guess the least harsh.
So is my red the same as your red?
No,
Okay.
I
All right.
purposely made them different.
Okay.
So I feel like this is like the least harsh, but I'm gonna have to go back between my yellow and green because I'm not sure.
I don't know. I gotta taste them all again. Wait a second.
So I'm gonna do these.
Oh, that one's just really, it's really alcohol-y.
Okay. That was actually good tasting these side by side again.
God, I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we got to guess.
I think I know.
Wait, okay. I'm so confused.
I mean,
okay.
I could be entirely wrong, but based on like what I'm going through in my head,
Okay. I'm really. I'll tell you that I truly thought that I was going to have a clear winner, not knowing what that would taste like to me. Because again, I don't just sip tequila. But I just thought one was going to be an out, one was going to be an in, and then the. But
Okay.
this. Okay.
I think I'm good.
So are we trying to? Or wait. First, let's do this. First, which is our favorite? I know. I got to do.
red's my favorite. Honestly, I ordered them my least favorite to most favorite, and I'm just hoping that is going to reflect in the price. I could be entirely wrong, but that's just the method I went with.
I just will say that I've taken so many little sips of these.
Yeah,
now.
it's starting to hit a little bit now.
Now
like-
they're blurring together, so I'm really like, okay, all right.
All right, so I ordered.
This taste, I can't wait to have like a regular margarita because this is not.
Amy's face is just
does not
it's like
taste
she's
good.
miserable.
All right, so I ordered mine. Again, so I'm assuming my least favorite to most favorite is going to be cheapest to most expensive.
Okay, go ahead.
This could be a wrong assumption, but
So
it's
you're
just
going that
one
way?
way. So I'm guessing Jose Cuervo, Jose Cuervo, Altos, Patron. So
right?
don't tell me yet.
Okay. So I'm assuming the same. Jose Cuervo, Altos, Patron. This one tasted the sweetest to me, which sounds, I know they're all agave, but this tasted somehow like sweeter, the green one.
I'm confused on these. So
When you finish them.
I know. Well, I just.
I hope you remember.
Where are we?
And I do think we should get these out because I could really use a little salty
So
something.
Cuervo, Altos, Return.
Okay.
Can
Probably the opposite.
I tell you first? Can I tell you? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Am I
So
opposite?
Mac, you said what?
Jose
Altos.
Altos, Patron.
Okay. This is Jose. His favorite. This is Altos, his least favorite, and Patron was his middle.
Maybe the issue is
You were drinking out of a penguin.
I was going to say that Patron is the one, Cuervo is the most recent I've owned and did shots of. So maybe I was numbered to this. I don't even know. Interesting.
It's good though, isn't it? The by the way, guac is really good. I'm telling you, homemade guac is just the bomb. Okay, now tell us. I can't wait to find out.
I go the wrong way.
Wait, hold on. Just let me.
You don't know, do you?
Interesting. Okay. So,
You want to do him first?
you. Altos, Patron, Jose Cuervo. You did the same thing I did.
Okay.
You,
Interesting.
Patron, Altos, Jose Cuervo.
Oh my God, we all chose Jose Cuervo as our best.
No. I didn't do it. I'm sorry. I didn't do it as
Okay.
Oh.
I like. I just did it of what I thought was what.
Oh, okay.
But that's interesting. So we did the
So I
exact
thought-
same,
I
and
thought
you
we-
were opposite.
But I thought we were doing that. I thought we were doing which one we liked, kind of, and
Well, I mean,
Because
you
what?
could have done your own methodology, but
Oh
that's
my
what I
gosh.
did. So
That is so weird.
That's interesting. I really would have expected Jose Cuervo to be the harshest, but I think it was the least harsh.
yeah.
So wait a minute. So Altos, Cuervo, or I'm sorry, Altos, Patron, Cuervo.
Yep.
All right.
And what was mine?
Yours was Patron, Altos, Cuervo.
It literally is flipped.
Yep.
So sipping, my least favorite was Patron, which I will tell you.
Shit.
Remember I said one of them smelled the most like tequila. Patron for me smelled the most like tequila,
Okay.
which is why.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's got kind of a weird. It had like a different taste.
The Cuervo had a different taste, but to me, it felt like sweeter or something. It actually to me it had less bite, which is why I liked it, because obviously I do not sip hard liquor well at all, so I don't like that bite. So this one had some of the most. These were kind of similar, but this one had some of the most bite, and I was like, and I always thought Patron was smooth, so I thought, well, that can't be Patron.
Yeah.
But I am not someone that sips unless it's limoncello or amaretto. So.
Also, hello.
So, if anyone, hello, thank you for joining us. I hope you're drinking some yummy tequila too. Tell me what your favorite tequila is. What do you like to drink? So I have leftover if anybody wants any tequila
I might.
sip.
So I was gonna do something that might be potentially sacrilegious, but I was just gonna.
Oh.
Who are you?
Look at you. Okay. So I'm going to make some margaritas now because I prefer not to sip them. I prefer to make margaritas. So who is with me? All right. We've got some yummy guac and chips that I just made.
They drank all mine.
Now I saw that.
Is the sum of their parts better or worse?
We saw who does not mind. We saw who does not mind just sipping on tequila.
Who?
You.
Oh, me. Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Tastes like tequila. Yeah. When they're all together. Who would have guessed?
So for our mix,
More like the average of the parts.
So this recipe, by the way, this recipe I got from my friend Sandra from a girls' weekend.
I didn't realize there was
I need to get something.
Cointreau in there.
Yeah. So you could use triple sec. Andy, can you grab this for me? I forgot to get that down. I'm just the one on the left. So picture on the left.
This
one?
one?
Take the glasses out. Thank you.
Oh, we're using that one.
Yeah, because we're going to actually make a batch. And then, because one of the things a lot of people enjoy that Ina Garden does is she makes a batch because no one really likes to mix cocktails
That's right.
when they have company. So we're going to be making a batch of them. All right? So let me get my proportions ready so I can be ready. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. So for our batch, now the batch would serve 3 to 4 people depending upon how big your margarita glasses are. We don't really have margarita glasses, so we're just gonna be serving them in old fashions because I think those make a nice glass. So Maddie, if you would get 3 old fashioned glasses and put some ice, fill them with ice, please. And then I will get our.
Isn't that ice?
Well, no, because we'll be shaking. We'll be shaking it up.
These or
Yep.
Okay.
Those. Now, I put a poll on my Twitter, and I don't know, I haven't checked it lately, but I was asking for salt or no salt. So, if you've joined us, please let us know whether you prefer salt or no salt on your margaritas. What do you prefer?
No salt.
Absolutely no salt.
Yeah, it must be genetic. I'm no salt too. I love salt and other things. What?
You're no salt?
I'm no salt. No. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, would be interesting to try doing a mixture of salt and sugar. Like, how they have, what's that popcorn, kettle corn that's like sweet and salty? That, maybe if I should try that and see if like a little salt and sugar maybe would do the trick.
Can help
Balance
mellow
it?
out the salts a bit.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe. So, for our recipe, I'm actually just going to go,
The guac is really good.
isn't that good? I'll wait till Maddie has the ice.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So for our recipe, we aren't going to be using Cuervo and we aren't going to be using Altos. We do use Altos a lot, and maybe I'm going to give Cuervo another look, seeing as I've shunned it in recent years. But I'm going to kind of go backwards. Again, the recipe is below. You can see for this batch. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with the lime juice because I need this for my measuring. So for one batch, which makes 3 to 4 margaritas, you start with half a cup of freshly squeezed lime juice. Do not use Rose's lime juice. Take the time, squeeze the limes. It is not difficult, and it makes all the difference. I'm also going to put in there, before I do the simple syrup, I'm going to do a half a cup of Cointreau. You could use triple sec. Cointreau is just a little bit, I don't know, it just has a little bit I think, better
different-
taste, but
like a
also
different profile.
yeah, but it's also
Is this what you use to squeeze?
that is. So if you do not have a citrus squeezer, you've got to. They are the best. So that was a half a cup of Cointreau. Again, you could use triple sec.
Starting to kill the tequila, man.
I don't, because I sipped very little. And then it's a cup of Patron. 1 cuparoo. A cup. Yes.
Well, lucky
Right.
for us, that's our second one.
That's your second one.
So it's a cup of Patron, a half cup of Cointreau, a half cup of lime juice, and then just a 1/4 cup of simple syrup. Now, what we did at our girls' weekend is we kept the simple syrup out and we let everybody put it as sweet as they want. But what I'm going to do is, I know that none of us like it super sweet, so I'm going to put a little under 1/4, and then I don't think it'll be too sweet.
Good
I mean,
enough.
yep, there we go. I don't want to use all your simple syrup. So if it's not sweet enough, you can always add a little bit more simple syrup. But what's nice about that is then people can make it how they like it, because I know some of the girls like it pretty tart and others like it really sweet. And that way everyone can be pleased and happy. I'm just gonna give it a little stir. All right, and then I'm going to be putting them in a shaker.
Oh, so you shake it and still pour it over.
So yeah, so I will say many times, especially at the girls' weekend, we shortcut this and do not shake it. But what is nice, and Andy's gonna smile and laugh at me because he knows how I am. What is nice about shaking it is it does do some dilution. It chills it before it even goes over the ice, serving it straight up. But it really, I think, helps mellow out and blend some of the flavors, which is great. So I'm gonna be pouring probably most of this in.
I think I just got a text from an old friend of ours who might be
Watch it?
on.
Wow. Let's see. Okay, there we go. There we go.
It is. Hello, Joe.
Jojo?
Joe.
Hey, Joe. I wish you were here joining us. All right, so we're going to give them a shake. So again, this is not like mixing a Cosmo, which does need a good amount of proper shaking. We're just trying to dilute it a little bit. And gosh, we have so much stuff right in front of it right now. I'm gonna give you that over there so we can make some room and show the goodies. Show the goodies. All right. So, and then now I'm gonna make mine a little special because I like a spicy margarita. So if you don't like a spicy margarita, you leave this next step out. And you know, people often wonder, like, what can you do to make the margarita spicy? You can do anything from steeping your tequila with some jalapenos, and then your tequila is spicy. But what I think is easiest is to just put a couple slices of jalapeno in your drink, because then, and I'm gonna put these, the limes here for garnish, because then, yeah, they're not cooperating. I'm just smush these damn limes on. Because then you just put it into taste. So for me, and that depends on the heat of the jalapeno, but 2 usually does it nice, and if it's not spicy, then I'll put another one on.
So,
All right.
question.
Yes.
So, do you know what the difference between tequila and mezcal is?
Yeah, mezcal smoker, and I found I don't love
But
it.
what it is.
Isn't it still agave?
It's still agave.
That's what I thought.
So tequila is typically produced by steaming the agave inside industrial ovens before being distilled 2 or 3 times in copper pots.
A mezcal?
I don't know.
Not that.
Hold on.
But what makes it smoky?
Go on with your stream
Ooh,
here. And I'll try to
I
figure
just
this
got a
out.
little jalapeno from when I put it in my drink.
You're not
On
supposed
my
to ask
thumb.
the
It's a
question.
little spicy. Yeah, but
you
it's
don't
nice.
touch your eyes.
But I won't touch my eyes. Oh, and by the way,
Here we go. Mezcal. Nah, forget it.
when you slice your jalapenos, slice them with the seeds, because that way the seeds can be useful putting the spice in. Because if you don't use the seeds, it won't be spicy, but then why are you putting the jalapeno in your drink? So
All right.
most people that want it in drink, they want the spice.
I got it. So this is why it's smoky. So mezcal, on the other hand, is cooked inside earthen pits that are lined with lava rocks and filled with wood and charcoal
Ah,
before being distilled in clay pots.
interesting. All right,
That was
let's try this
Sure.
baby.
Also, hi, Jared.
Yes.
He's lurking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty. So let's try it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I think it'd be better with Cuervo.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
We've been spending all this money.
crowd favorite tonight.
No, it's really good.
So this isn't really spicy, so I'm gonna pop a few more of these in.
I will say,
Put a few of those in mine.
even with a whole cup of
Here, I'll put this
Patron, like this is still. I was expecting it to be more alcohol forward than it ends up being. I mean, I think
It's sneaky.
Yeah.
I will tell
Yeah.
you that.
Yeah.
I think the simple syrup definitely helps, and I'm sure the what is it, the Cointreau?
The
Also-
Cointreau. Well, yeah, the Cointreau has sweetness to it.
Yeah, so I'm sure all that helps. But
I will say, and it's so true because these margaritas, like you taste them and you're like, oh yum,
it
and
does
then
not taste like a cup of tequila.
yeah, and Cointreau. I mean, like
Yeah.
think about it, like it is.
Yeah, that adds
there's a
to it as
lot
well.
of liquor in here.
So
That's offset by the lime juice.
Oh my goodness.
I get
Delicious.
maybe that cooks it down too.
So make sure, so first of all, if you like this video, if you like this content, please make sure and press like on the video below, and please subscribe so you can be in the know when we're having any of our streams. We do cooking streams on Tuesday nights typically, and I'm sorry, I've had a couple sips and already I'm talking nonsense. We do cocktail streams on Tuesday nights typically, and we do cooking streams on the weekend. This weekend we're doing it on Saturday. Kind of where I'm thinking now is on Sundays is when I will do more main dishes, and Saturdays I'll do sweets and things that aren't main dishes. So this Saturday for Mother's Day, I'm making my favorite recipe of scones that my friend Mindy shared with me years ago. I'm making blueberry scones with a lemon glaze. They are delicious. If you think you don't like scones, you've never had Mindy's. They are amazing. And I will say heavy cream is involved, and so how bad can that be? I sound like I know. Oh, that kind of gives me chills. So in any event, like those are yummy. These are scones that will take away any bad feelings you had about scones. They're not dry. They're not crumbly and disgusting. They are delicious.
Really
So that will be on Saturday at 1:30. But if you want to know the schedule, the best thing to do is to find me on Twitty.
You're a realtor now.
I'm Twitty. I've only had this much, and you saw my
and 3
sips.
shots.
But I
Lightweight.
didn't. I am a lightweight. But on Twitter,
You were tasting beforehand.
right? Twitter, which is Philly Live, and that way I always have my schedule posted if I have any changes or updates, and I also will provide recipes. Just follow me on Twitter. So
Or Twitter.
did I forget? Yeah.
Elon Musk.
But
is
try,
annoyed.
but I hope you have a great Cinco de Mayo. I know we're going to have one because we are going to make more of these for Thursday.
Clearly they work.
But yeah, so it was great having you join us here. And is there anything else I'm forgetting? Because apparently I can't think right now.
I think we're good.
All
Covered
right.
all your bases.
So have a great week. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Enjoy
guys.
your tequila.
Cheers.
And let us know which tequila you like best. All right. Nope, it's going to go around this way. That's not going to quite work.